First, let me tell you a story. There are two people. Both of them belong to the South Asian part of the world. Person A was born, brought up, and stayed in the West throughout his life. Person B was born and brought up in his native country. Both of them have studied English as a subject in school. Person B does not use this language regularly but is very good at his grades. A isn't great at his grades but has to use it frequently as it is the local language where he stays. Now, when they communicate, person A has difficulty grasping what B is trying to say to him, and vice versa. Each of them has their respective heavy accents stuck to their speech. Person B starts feeling that his English is so good that person A cannot understand it even though he has stayed in the West for so long. Opposite to this, person A starts feeling that he isn't good enough for person B to understand. Here, person B gives more credit to himself than he deserves. This is called the Dunning-Kruger effect. And the other side, where person A thinks what he is doing is not good enough, is called the imposter syndrome. These roles can be reversed as well, where B, having amazing grades throughout his life, still doubts himself, and A feels he is better than B. Here, comparison becomes the core of the problem. You see, in the Dunning-Kruger effect, a person places himself too high in his vision, higher than they deserve, and the person with the imposter syndrome feels he is an imposter and is not supposed to or is not deserving to be where he is. One thing here that's important to understand, these are the exact opposites of each other. They shouldn't be close to each other because one way or the other, one will eat off the other's sanity over time. One will keep thinking it has always been him who did everything, and the other will keep thinking that he hasn't done enough. Now, where is the topic of balance here? Well, the word that all of this points to is self-doubt. Having too much self-doubt can hurt us. So can having none of it. Like being overconfident. We must develop self-doubt to some degree so that we can criticize ourselves enough to find out things that we can work on and improve. Having too much will only allow us to see the flaws in our work and never let us see how far we have come. Sometimes we need to pat ourselves on the back and say we did better. To be better than yesterday is more important than being perfect. And yes, having no self-doubt is wrong too. It will only allow us to see ourselves, only what we have done and achieved. It will not let us find what to correct inside of us, creating an ego bubble where we start seeing others below us because according to us, we know better and more than the people around us. Realizing that we are wrong is the start of becoming self-aware. Self-awareness is the end goal here. The Dunning-Kruger effect is something a person goes through at the beginning of his career. Because as he goes on and learns, he questions himself about what he knows and realizes that there is so much that he still has to learn. One of the most visible signs of the Dunning-Kruger effect is ignorance. Ignorance to understand or even listen to what someone else has to offer to teach. A discussion is usually a debate with such people. When a person realizes their own ignorant behavior, that point is where they start becoming self-aware. Unfortunately, it usually takes external forces to bring someone out of the imposter syndrome. When we are left alone in our doubts, we keep falling further into the bottomless pit of self-loathing. I hope we all have good friends who keep reminding us of all the struggles we have gone through and prevent us from destroying ourselves. And also those who can slap us, wake us up from our pretty little dream and stop us from making wings out of wax and flying close to the sun. I hope we all have friends like that, or we learn to treat ourselves better. Take care. Hey, this graph is the best way to explain the two conditions. Please take some time to pause and go through it. Also, if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. It motivates creators like me to put out more videos for you. Also, do click the bell icon so you get all the notifications about the videos. I originally intended this type of content for my podcast, but later I decided to keep the camera on, so it's more like a person-to-person communication. And lastly, thank you, Bobby, for bringing this topic to my knowledge. Knowledge.